family, I would like to discuss the recent debate between Chief X and Brother Polight, right? Chief X and Brother Polight had a debate on Sarnetta Studios recently, and the debate was basically the meat diet versus the plant-based diet, right? And Chief X, he came into the debate swinging. He came into the debate with a lot of energy. He was trash talking. He was basically just excited about the debate. Brother Polite was his usual self. He was calculated. Um, Brother Polite debates like Khalid Muhammad. Watch some Khalid Muhammad footage, then watch Brother Polite. Brother Polite, and there's no shame in that. If you can be compared to Khalid Muhammad, then my brother, you're on the right track in terms of your intellectual acuity. But not to be sidetracked, Chief X started off the debate with a faulty premise, right? He said that there were no sources of plant protein that were complete protein, right? He said that all meat protein is classified as being complete. So let's look at this. Brother Polite, he countered this by saying that there is a vegetable that has complete protein. This particular grain is not a vegetable, it's a grain. It's called quinoa. Quinoa is a plant-based source of protein that has complete protein, right? Chief X also made a statement saying that there were 20 amino acids. Brother Polite corrected him and said that there were 22 amino acids. Okay. Um, there was some other inaccuracies in Chief X's first round, and so Brother Polite basically endeavored to correct him on the first round. Okay. So I started initially. I put my scored card um, in place, and Brother Polite won the first round. Okay, Brother Polite won the first round. So in the second round, and this is all from my memory, I think I may have missed a point. In the second round, Chief X attempted another maneuver which he thought was going to be like the one hitter quitter. He thought it was going to be a TKO. He decided to focus on plant based sources of iron. And so what he said was that the plant-based sources of iron were not as readily absorbed into the body as in the meat-based sources of iron. And so what he's basically saying is the body more readily absorbs heme iron than it does non-heme iron. And he said that plant-based sources of iron were non-heme iron. Well, Brother Polite, he countered that point by saying heme iron may be more readily accepted into the body or more readily absorbed, but heme iron is also carcinogenic, which means that it is cancer causing. So this debate was so powerful. Chief X, in the middle of Polite's rebuttal, was visibly in a state of cognitive dissonance as he realized that his points were not that thorough, right? He made one valid point, and I discussed this with a friend of mine yesterday. The fact that B12 is not um, as readily found in most plant-based sources. But after Polite caught him with a couple jabs, when he corrected him, Chief X also had to insert his knowledge about a plant that has B12. So he couldn't say that there were no plant-based sources of B12 because he found, I think he said it was the purple and green larva or lava plant. I'm not sure. But if you watch the video, that was some good information from Chief X about that particular plant. But his arguments were a little bit faulty. All right. And so, based on this argument, um, I had to score this one 3-0 for Brother Polite because Chief X, although he made some good attempts, right, his Googling, his research was not as thorough as Brother Polite. Brother Polite lives a vegan diet, and so basically, it's not something that you can just hurl at him or even at me. I mean, I don't know if I would have been um, quite as. No, I could handle Chief X. I could handle Chief X. If I was debating Chief X, I think I would have been that would have been over in the first round. But people, let me know what your thoughts are about all of these dynamics. Who do you think won the debate? I think Polite won that debate on the strength of his um, research prowess, on the strength of his instant rebuttals. I think that really like leveled the playing field early and gave him the advantage later on in the debate. All right, people, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. One love.